I took a moment to take note of these trees outside this studio window. A moment is nothing compared to the years that it's required for these trees to go from the seedlings. That was 1997 when they were planted as seedlings. And now, as we stare out into this forest, I wish you were here, you can see the sun rising. You can feel the brilliance of the light as it makes its way through this glorious color of green. But it took years, once again, to get these trees this high. But it doesn't feel like years. It feels like it just happened overnight. Like Jack and the Beanstalk. One day he wakes up and, whoa, what's this? I think I'm going to climb it. He climbs it, and there's a completely different village at the top of that beanstalk, and he's going to steal from that giant. Whew. If I were to climb this Leland cypress out here, what would I see up on top? Would I greet the squirrel with a smile? Would the sun blind me and I would fall to the floor? It's a journey. That's what it's all about. Hey, it's Arrow. This is The Choice. This is what I was writing while the sun was waking up on a brilliant new day, and today's date is April 28th, 2022. Does anyone take baby steps anymore? I'm not talking about just babies. I'm talking about businesses as well. Does anyone take baby steps anymore? Because I don't think babies do. 1 minute they're in a baby seat. The next minute they're up and running through the grocery store collecting everything they think is good for them. I have 2 grandchildren. One is 18, the other is 16. I paused for a moment because it's very hard for me to digest how fast they've grown up. How did this happen so quickly? It couldn't have been baby steps. The word that I like to use instead of baby steps, it requires a process. Dictionary.com says the term baby steps, it's a tentative act or measuring in a long, challenging process. I envision baby steps. I see a sense of discovery as well as innocence. You're allowed to make a few bad decisions, but you've got to learn from the process so you can grow away from the failure. When I create new podcasts, I have a better view of calm in the opening episodes compared to my hardcore expectations as the performance begins to mature. Baby steps to me are what's experienced in martial arts when you're a white belt to a green belt. And then, baby, it's showtime, which is where most people drop off because the challenge becomes too great. I challenge you in the way, when you hear of somebody who says, yeah, I once did martial arts. You did? You once did it? That's awesome. Because once a martial artist, always a martial artist, and it's a way of life. It's not something that you collect. Yes, right behind me, I have every belt that has been wrapped around my waist. And those belts serve as one thing, a reminder to never step off the black belt path. To be in that place of now. It did not require baby steps to earn each and every one of those belts. It required a mindset so that I knew that the process of growth was going to take a long time, just like these trees outside in this forest. 1997, tiny seedlings. 2022, whoa! An array of colors that greet me. And when you peek through these limbs of green, you can see the deer below. You can see the hawks right here. They will stand right here in front of this studio window because the studio is 23 feet off the ground. It didn't take baby steps to get here. It required a journey. Now, what I want to plant inside your mind, body, and soul today is the energy and the confidence to accept the journey. Once again, baby steps, those are innocent times. You're able to make mistakes. But there comes a moment where you've got to be able to say, okay, you've had enough time to mature. You're still making baby step mistakes. That's got to stop. And in that process of agreeing that it must stop, you've got to be able to grow forward and outward with courage, with the idea that when you do make a mistake, it's part of the learning process, not the learning baby steps. Those days are long gone. Now, you might ask, so like you talked about your podcasts and you allow them to take little baby steps in the very beginning. How long do you know? I give it 7 episodes. That's it. 7 episodes. If you aren't mature by 7 episodes, and if you aren't growing like a true podcast should grow after 7 episodes, we got a problem. We're going to have to make some corrections, and we're going to have to live in those adult shoes to make that process a success. I'm Arrow, and that's what I was writing while the sun was waking up on a brilliant new day.